Welcome one and all to Bronze League Legends, your one-stop shop for all things low-ranked in Age of Empires 4. On the right, we're joined by Sergey 414 on the English, but his opponent, it's the most dreaded of things for an English bronzer. It makes them puke, sick to their stomach, they hate to see it. Dun, 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 dun. Dun, 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 dun. Dun, 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 dun. It's the French. French OP, please nerf. French too strong, Knight. Why Knight not get countered by one spear? Spear not OP enough. French Knight OP. Why he heal? Why my villagers all dead? French OP. That's right. Many a bronze Redditor has uttered these words. Type them out even. Let's see if it holds true, because we have got a bronze matchup. I believe there's a bronze 3 and a bronze 2. Baitar. I don't think we've seen him before. I noticed him searching before. We only just got around to it. We're finally going to see him in action. Interesting choice, though. French on a map like Mountain Clearing. Usually the French players like wider maps because of having cavalry is a bigger advantage, right? You're able to kind of reposition easier. Maps like this are better for rushy-type civs with defensive landmarks and buildings, and also like infantry-based civs, such as the English, that can tick both those boxes with forward outposts and longbow spam. See how this goes on the early game. Decent amount of sheep coming home for both players. Very defendable location. A lot more defendable, in fact, for Baitar. Check how wide this is for Sergey. Gold isn't exactly that easily protected. Even the wood, in the stone rather, there's kind of wraparound points. Also, the place on the wood line here with the deer, it's high value, but it's also high value as a target if Baitar starts to rush into archers. Let them get into the opening. Sergey. Wait, was that intentional? Oh, Baitar, if you just garrisoned right now, all the goodies you get. No, such a golden opportunity missed. It looked like Sergey waited for the sheep, the neutral sheep, to walk close enough so he wouldn't be in TC range. I don't know if that was intended, but it did make him look amazingly cool. So Sergey ends up getting the lion's share of sheep on the map because Baitar missed a bunch right next to his base. In fact, Baitar, oh my god, look at this scouting routine. I call this one discovering mountain clearing for the first time. We've all been there. I'm curious how many games of mountain clearing Baitar's actually had. Because I'm pretty sure barely any, if any, sheep spawn along these outskirts, so it's kind of a waste to go there. He does at least finally discover where his opponent is located on the map. And needs to be careful, because if Sergey does garrison, that double arrow fire will insta-blitz you out and down. Have we got villager production all the way through? It looks like we've had a gap here. I think Sergey missed one villager at some point. Baitar should have a slight lead, because remember, you've got increased production rates. But it could also be, yeah, because Zeri's 2 ahead. I think there might have just been a miss here. And Sergey, well, he's going on the stone. No lumber camp yet, despite the fact that he has got 270 wood. He yeah, I understand this. From an RPG perspective, this is like training, right? He's going to let him do the walk, because if he does the walk, it's training. So your villager gets stronger, and therefore they can carry more. Sadly, that's not the way Age of Empires 4 works. He really is just being a cheapskate, though. He's like, well, this mining camp is close enough. So 20 stone a minute coming. With the council hall already being built up, that does mean that you are not going to have enough stone for a TC the moment you tech up, even though they'll have enough wood. School of Cavalry is on the way from Baitar. A little bit forward of his base, I like this. Shorten the route. Get there faster. And an outpost very early on in the center from Sergey. Sergey could think about going for the board, but this is probably just given that parking location for longbows to retreat to. Still just one. Where are these new workers going? They are committed onto the council hall, so he's just committing any new villagers in. I see this so often out of bronze players, where they're like, oh, the build speed can just be increased over time for additional villagers. It's very intriguing. You don't really see it often in high level, right? Usually in high level, it's like, I'm going to pull all my gold workers, all my stone, or wood workers, whatever it is, and just get it up. People saying Sergey wants the stone for his arrow slits. I imagine so. I can't think of any other reason why you'd only have one villager doing this. An arrow slits, of course, is going to be 50 stone. So at this rate, by the time he builds the second outpost, he should have enough for the follow art. Good eyes there. And it is going to be the proxy racks. He loves doing this. We've seen this before. What is this response from Baitar? So Baitar is likely up against spears and lombos. So he's building spears and knights? What? Is this a bait, though? We'll find out. Sergey is getting the first men-at-arms out. Baitar is yet to build a single military unit. In fact, Baitar has some serious food issues. He needs more people on there fast. And he's going for the mining camp onto the stone. So it looks like we are going to get a secondary TC play out of Baitar. He's already got plenty of wood. This also confuses me more about the spearman play. I would have thought archery would have made a lot of sense here, considering you're floating over 450 wood. Baitar is like, maybe I need to wall the sides. Maybe he's going to men-at-arms rush me. If I just wall, I don't have to worry. Smart cookie. Sergey is on the deer now. He could have done this sooner. It would have been better as well. Just take the risky resource, fall back to the sheep, and get the better gathering rate. He's fine right now. Really wants that follow-up outpost. I love the fact that the villagers have been garrisoned in here the entire time, instead of, you know, gathering gold or something of the likes. People asking, why is he on berries when the deer is right next to him? Because you need to get rid of the berries, or the deer are going to chase after the berry. No, wait, I don't know. It makes sense. If you don't take the berries first, then when you kill the deer, their blood goes everywhere, and the vegetation becomes contaminated. There you go. Also, if you don't get rid of the berries, how are you meant to push the deer to the mill easily? They're just going to go off in weird directions. It's too much of a pain. So Baitar did go for the archer range, so we are going to get into the archers now. This base location with the deer is so... It's something. It's definitely something. Baitar has noticed I'm not getting enough food, so he's going to go in for horticulture. Definitely not something here that would already increase your gathering rate. Meanwhile, Sergey, only now adding in lombos. This guy is very slow on the way he escalates his military. We saw this in the last game. He kind of just leaves himself a lot of runway often. Like, he could have opened this age with 4 or 5 lombos and had them safe in an outpost. And then with the proxy racks, he always has spearmen as a reaction. Interestingly enough, like, he just doesn't go spearmen at all, right? Like, this is the second time he's up against an opponent who has cavalry, and in the early mid-game, he's not doing spears. It just seems to value the men-at-arms higher. Raid round the backside by Baitar, though. He's going to be in with the knight. Buff knights, by the way. So this is very important at the bronze level. At high level, players would idle out their knights. They definitely got the charge bonus damage, but at this level, you just immediately A-click in, and the A-click ticks the box. 3 dead villagers, even though he's underneath an English TC. Won't be able to get the 4th. The villagers are even attacking him. If he just keeps chasing around, he can kill more here. Okay, there's a lot of hesitation here. If Baitar committed there, it's not bad to lose a knight. Killing 4 villagers, idling like this, and losing a knight would have been worth it. But now it kind of gets a little bit more iffy. He is still finding himself 5 villagers ahead now, though, courtesy of not only those kills, but also the quicker production time for French. Has also gone the blacksmiths, which increase the melee damage, so even the spears are going to see a nice bump in what they do. Baitar realizes he probably should have had more knights going. Baitar was like, hey, these knight units are pretty damn good. Instantly queues up 3 more. There's a few injured villagers here as well that he can milk. Sergey's got a bunch of idle villagers. Yeah, oh wow, did he bring out a second villager? So he's just got 2 idle in the tower. And one of them One of them is an architect, guys. They cannot get their hands dirty mining or chopping trees. Their hands were made for building. Watch. But you only water on the weekend. Sergey, still no blacksmiths here. If Baitar gets the undermesh, I really favor his ability to take fights here. He's playing flanks as well. This is so exposed. And considering that Sergey's reaction speed on that last assault was about in line with that of a goldfish, he might lose 4 villages, 5 villages here. In fairness, the blob on the map is bigger, though. Sergey. Okay, he did get siege engineering first. He's now going in for Bloomery instead of Steeled Arrow as the English. He does know that it doesn't affect ram damage, right? I mean, he has got a lot of men-at-arms, so he has a clear goal here. Commit in. They come at me. I ungarrison all the men-at-arms. Surprise Mother Ducker. Speaking of surprises, oh, good God. That's 3 dead. He only pulled back the lumber line. So 5 more villagers should hit the dirt. But once again, he hesitates. Actually, I think he did get 5 anyway. That's going to be the 6th. Sergey is now 10 villagers behind. He has 12 idle. They are still idle. They are still idle. They are still idle. He seems to be distracted by war. And his rams are still not a go. Baitar, meanwhile, has 18 idle villages. Oh, guys. But we're vegetarians. Ah, there it is. I think what happened here is before Baitar got on the computer, he may have watched Bambi. That would turn anyone off of a bit of venison. Now we tune in for an inner monologue with a deer. Stupid villagers don't even know how to use a bow. And they can do it. Now they're distracted by the ram. We're going to live forever. Live forever. And Sergey, is he actually... He's committing to the TC. But he pulled the men-at-arms back. There's nothing in this. Baitar. He built a mill here. Is he finally going to go for the deer? This would fix so many of his problems. But instead, he's distracted by the fight. That's now 26 villagers on sleepy go bye-bye time. Arm in the flank isn't doing anything. Baitar isn't doing anything. He is getting more knights, though. Sergey, on the other hand, dude, this guy just hates spears. You can tell that he wasn't one of those kind of like tanky paladin classes with the spears when he plays MMOs. He was one of those, you know, two-handed swords or dual-wield swords type guys. Because he barely ever builds any. All right, we're funneling the air there. We've done it. Baitar, he's in prime position. He's got a lot of wood in reserve. Would love to see that just used to pump out archers here. His food has gone down to 0 food income a minute. This is problematic. He's missing out on villager production. This is one of those awkward things that will happen a lot at bronze level where people won't clock what's happened to their food. They're waiting for the drop-off. You need to manually drop off for this because deer gather up to 30 due to wheelbarrow here. Normally it's 25. So this is something that like pro-level players clocked on Cauldron because they would immediately go on deer. Outside as well. Is if they weren't careful, there'd be gaps in their food income that would leave them without villager production. And wait, no, Baitar, this is against the rules. We're in a desert here. You can't build farms. That's not how that works. Well, we wanted him to use the wood. He's definitely done that. I didn't know that you could use wood to fertilize the desert, but... Maybe there's just undiscovered tech from the past. Meanwhile, Sergey is infertile. At least when it comes to farms. Not a single farm 15 minutes in a game as an English player. Oh, look, even left room for... Oh, God, there's not room for a Millers there. Oh, dear. Still the deer, plenty of farms. I mean, this is... Usually farm transitions lose you games. But funnily enough, I feel like in the bronze games we've watched, quite often if you just farm transition, you win the game. Because people aren't, like, they're not... Yeah, Sergey doesn't realize that this should be the moment to do something. In fact, there's been multiple moments where Sergey could have tried to do something, but he's been a very naughty turtle boy. Meanwhile, Baitar has been a cheeky raider. He's on the raid again. This time with 2 villagers. That adds in an extra 12. Make that 14 damage to this raid. Holy shamokes. It's unstoppable. He's our fortified outpost, though. And although Baitar has access to ram tech, he hasn't built any. So not quick to torch these down. Instead, he can look to burn it all when it comes to the villagers. He's in. It's a melee mosh pit. And Sergey, he's not reacting. Wait, he is reacting. He's bringing the army instead of pulling the villagers. Oh, my. He's like, keep working. Reinforcements on the raid. Yeah, no, that is the biggest scam of my life. Will this army stop him, do you think? No. No, where are the rest of the men-at-arms? Get them here now. What a raid out of Baitar. Pinching plenty of extra villies. Now, he does give over 1 or 2 because he did bring villagers with him to attack. It's almost like a charitable donation at this stage. Let me just fertilize the ground with a few French villagers as well. Baitar still has a big lead that he can throw away here. 42 villagers compared to 26. Make that 42 villagers compared to 25. This guy is not going home. Well, he is, just in a body bag. I think the word is deaded. Very kind of slow on both sides, though. Despite these raids, like it is, like Baitar's just taking his time. Look at the resource bank. If he just built more production buildings, he'd be riding all the way to the bank, and that's exactly what's going to happen. It's mass knights. He could just go Castle Age and end this. If he hits Castle Age, this is over. Like, Sergey is in shambles. He's got no wood income, so no extra transitions coming. Food and gold numbers are... Well, one is depressing to look at for the existence of non-existence. That was weird. For the words of non-existence. And the other one is depressing to look at from the perspective of too much existence. Sergey is once again being the Bank of England. Hey, guys. I know you're all saying Baitar is looking like he's on his way to Gold League. But Sergey is also on his way to Gold League, just in a different way. Oh, dear. If he just sold some of this, like, he's got a market as well. If he just bought the food, he could tech up. If he gets a white tower, he can maybe stay alive. But instead, the only person teching up here is going to be Baitar. Now, I think this used to be annoying, right, to have to do what he's done here, where you pull the villagers off the farms, because then you had to click them back independently. But now, you can just right-click one farm. So he pulled all the farm workers from the left, ran all these people from the south to the north, and then sent them back across to the farm. That was a funky misclick by the looks of it from Baitar. But they all got their building participation ribbon, folks. We talked about this in a previous game, you know, that kind of I'm helping moment. You threw one torch, then ran all the way back to the base. I helped the raid. Oh, this raid. If I'm not mistaken. No. Sergey, this is too greedy. By the way, can we just... can we just note how Baitar has always made this excessive wrap around the tree line to seem extra sneaky? Like Sergey's pan, like his mouse pad is set like this, and it runs out when he reaches here. Like he never sees beyond this. And it's coming again. And Baitar, the problem with this white tower, even if it goes up for Sergey, is what does it protect? And the extra sneaky raid, it works again! Sergey, just as soon as he gets wood, he's going to have to use it all to build coffins. Sergey right now is coughing up a lot of blood. Chasing onto the stone line as well. More villagers going down. The men-at-arms. Get back here. We want to fight. Yeah, no bueno. No bueno. Baitar has still not upgraded his knights to veterancy, but he's upgrading them with royal horses. Bloodlines is on the way. Loop-de-loo in the base. You can see that Sergey is looking roughed up here. But Sergey sticks his hands up. I can do this all day. I don't know why that turned into Rocky Balboa when it was meant to be Captain America, but it did. Then Arms Master is going to be thrown away, though, before the tech-up completes. This is the point where Baitar could just run the archers back through, and I think it allows him to kill more. Or you just peel the spearmen off so the knights can chase. What's the next layer behind this? You're going to need some siege, so I'd love to see a siege workshop into a treb, and then it's just done. The men-at-arms, yeah, they're finally going to be cleaned up. The knights do get on top of them. So Sergey spends a lot of troops, gets nothing really for it. It does at least cover his tech up, as the white tower should complete. It looks like Baitar is just a little bit too late. Just a second sooner, and he would have blocked it. It's a dive that you don't want to be a part of anymore. Baitar is so close to just forcing a GG immediately out of Sergey. Sergey, love the fact that he goes immediately into boiling oil to stop that dive. He does still have a way of making this happen because right now Baitar still lacks siege. He also lacks an army. He's been so fixated on the micro. He's kind of gone ahead and solved world hunger. Almost 5,000 food. And he's going to keep most of that because this keep is going to give him the discount on all of these stables and archery ranges. Damn, look at Baitar. He planned this. I really think Baitar needs to build some units, though. Look what's happening from Sergey. It's the white tower again with the knights. Knights into the trebs. We've seen this before. We've seen him win. And he was in a stronger position when we last saw it, but like it's very doable here if Baitar doesn't get some sort of counter to this prep. Some people saying that this acts as free production. Remember, folks, the way the white tower works is it's twice the speed of any normal production, so it's 100% faster. So knights get produced in 17 seconds. Trebs come out in 15 seconds as opposed to the normal 30. Gives you some very sweet transitions at the beginning of Castle Age. We got that stagnant hesitation again, haven't we? Let's try the speed up button in this situation. As I'm just aware that I've got to go look after my baby shortly. Lumber camp check-in. And these guys actually build additional lumber camps. Props to them. Well, not so much with Baitar, but he did on this side. They're at least keeping somewhat of a finger on the pulse there. Meanwhile, Sergey, Military Academy plus Network of Citadels. By the way, I actually think that Military Academy is one of the most broken techs you can get in Bronze. Most players don't flesh out their production buildings, right? We've seen plenty of players that play on like one racks, one archery range, one stables. So actually, Military Academy is one of the best things you can get your hands on because it's going to increase your production speed by 33%. Now, there is a way around that. You could just build, 5, 6, 7 raxes, but so many players simply do not do that. So if you're going to forget to flesh out your production buildings, bare minimum, get your hands on Military Academy. It costs just over 2 production buildings worth of resources. Like, if you're not going to commit to extra production buildings, it's going to give you more value than extra 2 ever would. Okay, Baitar's not happy with solving world hunger on Earth. He's now going for universal hunger resolution. The Trebs are here to play. So he's going to play Sergey his own game.
Building done. It looketh good.
Farms have started to be set up for Sergey, but they hurt me. Deep to my English core. It's okay that Baitar done this. But even Baitar has more farms under mills than the English player in this game. That's not something you see often. And it is a stare down. Treb versus Treb. Very intense. Who will fire first? Who will fire not at all? Tune in next week when we find out. Baitar going for the one-punch strategy. I just need to get more trebuchets so everything insta-dies. He's also getting Arbitraire. So Baitar's comp is looking better than Sergey's in the coming minutes. Because once again, Sergey is not producing. I love the fact that he moved to the opposite side of the wood line for an optimal lumber cam. It's these small details that are remarkable. Such limited vision in these areas as well. You can see the paranoia. If Sergey only knew how weak Baitar was militarily. And he had no reason to be that weak either, by the way. Like, if Baitar just took all these stables and started mass-producing horsemen, he could win right now. If he just took his workers under gold, he could just build a red keep near the center and win right now. Baitar stopping at the holy 6 on the Arbitraire count. Because, of course, if you have too many crossbowmen, you know, they get in each other's ways. And I've never seen crossbowmen crouch down, only bend over. So you don't want to risk them shooting each other in the back of the head with crossbows. Understandable. Oh, Sergey. Oh, no! Baitar, what are you doing? Treb. Terrible. I tried, it didn't work, but wait, he's not even reacting. Baitar with the reaction speed of a rock right now. But Sergey's the jackhammer. So Sproul takes out both of them. Sergey is still not using his own Treb, though. It's moments of silence like this, you really feel the peacefulness of AoE 4. They're just not doing anything anymore. I want to know what because Baitar has, oh my god, have we got another AFKer? Is this a Bruce Lee all over again? Baitar is not moving anything. Okay, he's now pumping a lot of Arbitraire. All the upgrades are coming out. This is the moment. Sergey, meanwhile, has got the second Spree. More knights being pumped. Additional men-at-arms. Just use the Treb, though. It's just, it's there. It's juicy. It's tasty. I'm still waiting for the Infinite Horseman push. I may be waiting a while. This one really is hard to call. It should be simple because you look at what Baitar has in the bank, but it's just simply not being used. But now the commitment's going to come out. He wants the Spirals gone. We get one of them. Arbitraire will clean up the melee units. Knights are going to stand their ground. Now the attack speed aura is there, but Sergey is heavily discounted due to the crossbows. And I love the Pavises. The absolutely pointless Pavises are fabulous here. Mangonel comes out to its death. Baitar with the A-click may have just forfeited even more siege. Spree will at least be cleaned up. His own counter Spree not being used at all. And the Trebuchet has decided it wants war. It has been awoken from its slumber. With the shortest Trebuchet shot I think I've ever seen in the history of Treb shots. Got him. And now it says my job here is done. It falls back. Baitar, wait. Why is he attacking this? Got him. You know what that was? Yeah, if you want to eat boar, you need to stick you need to stick a shish kebab for it, right? Very logical. Sprions. Baitar is attacking everything but the thing that is... Oh my god. Sergei's value on these anti-sieges have been insane. There's no way he doesn't lose that, right? Nah, it's going to be a commitment. A right-click in. This game has gotten so weird. This game has gotten beyond weird. Arbitrate. They say we can stay here forever. Pavis. 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 More like rest in Pavises. Sprions once again sniped out. They'll stay here, but really for absolutely, positively no reason. It's like Baitar is going down a list of things to try, and every time it's just like, add one more unit than you previously tried. And each time it's like, that didn't quite work. The funny part about this is if Baitar just went back to flank attacks, he'd just win this game. Or if he just committed even half of his reserve resources, he would win this game. And another trip has he pointed out into its death. Oh my god. How is Sergei pulling this back? Is this the end? Baitar so far has only been building units that take gold. Don't worry, folks. He has more gold. I think this is the longest in a stalemate that I've watched relics not be picked up next to base and mount clearing. In fact, this is the longest I've seen someone with a monastery not get relics. It's like Sergei is... You know, he wants to make sure that everyone's going to the ceremonies on Sunday, but no shiny stuff here. We're a humble church, okay? We don't want the tourists coming by to check out all our fancy relics, which is ironically the opposite of how the real English works. We're big on that tourism. We need to. Just put the queen on like a kind of little walkway and tell you to look at her. Pay $20 to do so. Folks, I'm not going to lie. If these guys don't clean up soon, I'm going to have to go. This Treb is like, even just capturing the sacred site.
Hitlock as God.
12 years later.
And Sealy E.
And here we see the puny peasant in its natural habitat deforesting the Amazon to make way for a local baguette shop. It will take many years, but when they are done, we shall bring culture to the natives through the sweet, sweet taste of the croissant. Oh, I think Baitar's ready. I see it now. Baitar is like, I watched BTQ gameplay. He always wins with 10k food. I just need to get the food and spend the food. He's doing exactly that. Massing knights, massing men-at-arms. This is his 5th, 6th trebuchet. It's been quite a few. But this might be enough to break. Get 3 trebs, get a bunch of knights, get the arbitrary together, and go. He still does not have greased axles either, interestingly enough. You know when you reach a point where you legit just want to see how it plays out? These sly pieces... These son of a guns, that's what they've done to us. They've gotten us so deep into this game, we have to see the outcome now. And here we see the French miner in their natural habitat. Not to be confused with the French miners that you'll find in elementary school. Let's go for a listen-in with the French miners right now. I believe we've got them on the line. Oh, wait. We'll come back to that. There's fights going on. Spirals are getting cheeky. No. We jumped the gun. All right, let's go to the listening. Hi-ho, hi-ho. It's off to work we go. Oh, so wrong channel, wrong channel. Ah, here we go. We have them on the line now. I like gold. Wait, he's going. We're getting it. It's finally time. Baitar in with the charge. Nice charging through. Trebuchet's not being sniped out this time. Anti-siege is gone. Mangonels are gone. He's finally broke the back of the English. Sergei, his army's been reduced to just Lombos. Lombos that are not even present and able right now. Trebuchet's being sniped out. Trip Trebuchet behind this should be enough to close out for Baitar. It took 36 minutes. And a decent chunk of that really was waiting, but we got there. This will break the fort keep. While we wait for that, we get to watch him break the villages behind this. Knights will make their way into the back line, chunking through what remains here. Sergei, this should be enough to break him. Arbitrail also diving past. An ambitious choice considering the boiling oil. Baitar needs to be a little bit careful, because if he doesn't leave anything to defend here, he is simply going to lose those trebuchets. Luckily for him, Sergei is distracted by the Springles. Baitar, once again distracted by the micro, hasn't built additional units and might now lose 3 trebuchets to 1 knight. How does this even happen? Like, are you guys not on guard duty right now? It's fine though. He got the white tower. That's the critical ingredient. He finally realizes the knight is going to be cleaned up. Not before he gets his bang for buck, though. Meanwhile, at home, Sergei has been reduced to 20 villages. He still refuses to call GG. This man is either a genius or insane. Or a mixture of the two laced with cocaine. Final Treb is going to be taken out, but just in time for Baitar to build an additional 2. Sergei has built an additional keep on the left side, but if you target the landmarks, you can just win. I'm actually impressed by Sergei's resilience. I have a feeling that Sergei regularly finds his way up into silver or gold, and I'm pretty sure it's mainly because the other person just leaves. So Sergei has just basically stopped building military now. It's almost like every keybind on his PC, on his keyboard, was set to the white tower, which he is now repairing. That's likely not going to work out, though. What rating is this? Well, this is what we would expect, folks. This is like 300 ELO. This is bronze. You guys wanted it. I merely provided. Oh, and Baitar may have been a little bit greedy here. All of a sudden, that's a big chunk of his eco lead. Baitar now adding in the rams, which he feels a necessity to build in the field instead of out of the workshops. He still somehow has 3,000, almost 4,000 food in reserve. Also, why is Baitar ignoring this giant gold vein? Why take from myself when I can take from you? Baitar, once again, not too greedy, folks. Sure, he's got thousands upon thousands of food, but when he looks at gold, that is too big. It's too much for me to handle, you know? I like a small load that you can really sink your teeth into. Like, look at it. This is a humble man's golden nugget. This is someone who's clearly flexing too much. Like, they've spent 5 months worth of wages on a diamond necklace. What a humble guy. Can we please just go? The only way Baitar does not kill this castle is if he dives the castle into boiling oil. Squirrels in the meantime are distracted by the Rams. Oh my god, it actually worked. This should be the peel back of the Knights. Yep, they'll take on the force of Spearmen on the side, which usually sounds like a bad idea, but at this point, Royal Bloodlines just do it. And the Rams remain a distraction. They truly are just here to draw attention. Draw attention they will. Trebs now hitting into the outpost. Breach on the way, but the White Tower's been rebuilt! It has been that long since the assault that the White Tower has been fully reconstructed. Baitar. He has to target. He's got the 2 Trebs. But once again, I think he's going to lose the army. He's diving 2 separate keeps right now. Baitar, he's building only an extra Treb behind this. He's not building more military. Strong's going to move out. No, not like this. This is... Oh my god, Boiling Oil is just cursed in this matchup. Sergei's going to hold again. Sergei's going nowhere. He lives once more. This guy is more resilient than Voldemort. This is insane. You know what, guys? I think we're all of the same kind of page here, right? You know, clearly this is an issue with castles and defensive buildings being too strong. So if we'd all like to go and talk on that aforementioned Reddit thread by Blitz, let's nerf keeps, please. Too strong, too strong. That's the only problem I see with this game. 43 minutes. Baitar should have been able to end it in half that. The only reason he wasn't able to was the keep. GG. I'm starting to get the feeling this game may only end when one of them in real life has a heart attack or starves or gets so constipated they die, or the final possibility spends so long in this game that they fail to pay their electricity bills and their power gets cut. Those are probably the only 4 outcomes likely here. Baitar once more into the breach. He now has no food. His income is still significantly better than Sergei's, though. Sergei, who still hasn't remanned half of his farms. So back in. Oh, he's found it. He's found the big gold. All right, time to go for the listen in. I like gold. I love the feel of it, the touch of it, the smell of it. I even had my own Yoo-hoo shot off by a Springald because I love it that much. We're here again, folks. Springalds are once again removed. Trebuchets can move up. Rams are being built. Let the onslaught commence. If only there was something that Sergei could do to repel this assault, such as build more Springalds. Wait, that's exactly what he can do. But will they be quick enough? Sergei repairing the castle. Not using stone, by the way. Meanwhile, Baitar decides to target the Treb instead. And the Springal's been birthed. Boys, I've got like 10 minutes before my child is dropped off at this house. Do not make me leave her sitting crying in the freezing cold waiting for Papa. Oh, so losing my child to child services. These rams are so unnecessary. He has 2 siege workshops he could use. Once again, the Knights, the MVP. Wyvern build Springles right. These boys do the business. The interesting part is exploring the mindset of a bronze player, because this is probably very, I don't know, is it entertaining to them is what I'm wondering. This is apparently what counts as high octane though. How's villager production looking? We've stopped. Baitar has once again stopped at 54. Sergey has stopped at 33. Trebs going to town the White Tower. This time he has protection! He's done it! He counted out Sergey. There's a second one coming though. And I do not see any Knights. They're in production, but they're not here right now. Springald will get one shot out. Rams now rushing forward. Trebs. They're in trouble. He cannot kill the Springald quick enough. He's going to lose one of the trebuchets. He should at least be able to set fire to the White Tower. The White Tower is not being repaired right now. Trev's going to get at least one more shot out before the Springald takes it out. It looks like Ashley is going to stay alive. Oblitre saved the day. Gets one more shot out before it should be killed. Can it do it though? Reload is too long. Ram is on fire, down to 350 HP. One village has been pulled to repair. No, Sergey, no, stop it. It must end. Think of my child. Despair. Despair. Let me just add another 10 minutes onto this timer. Bite up. Back to the drawing board, my friend. What have you got for us? What innovative and evolved strategy could you bring next to the table? He's building more traps. He's building more traps. The distraction ram. Distracting from nothing right now. The impressive part is that I'm 48 minutes into a game and nobody has 200 population housing. And it's not because their houses have been burnt down. It's simply because they've never built that many units. Night Mass. Wow, that was great micro from Baitar. He's baiting the Spearman out, but he's bringing them to the Baphesus. Like, yeah, good job. Bring him further in. Bring him further in. We'll flesh out to clean up the spears. Trebs are now attacking onto the White Tower. Could this be the final time? Could this be the one? He's got enough Knights to take out the Springles. He needs to do it immediately. Do not lose those Trebs. Charge in. Immediate engagement. Blocks them off. One Springle shot comes out, but the Trebs are going to live. White Tower could be in a bit of a bind here. Now, all Baitar has to do, it's very simple. It's very straightforward. Do not dive the keep. Baitar says, silly pigeon. There's no diving here. This is a land map. We will wait. Baitar's evolving, folks. If he gets any smarter, he might just get installed into a PC and become Skynet. Trebs are increasing. We're now up to 4. Is this the beginning of the end for Sergey? Sergey, what has he got left? He's got barely any gold to work with. He can't afford additional Springles. He's gone for a trebuchet to snipe out French villagers. Of course, the standard use for a trebuchet.
What shall each do?
Trebs now changing target on... No. Please, God, no. Baitar. He's got 4 Trebs. Currently, 0 of them are attacking the White Tower. They are attempting to attack the Springald. Makes sense. If one lion runs into a den full of 20 wolves, the wolves kill the lion. Don't run away. murdering. He's your true lion. Lion-hearted. Knight charges in. Springel's gone. 3 Trebs on the move, and for some reason diving very deep in range of the White Tower. These Knights, they just need to skirt the fight. Rams are being built. Baitar playing with his food. Just needs to get down to brass tacks. These Knights, I mean, he's doing it. He's actually doing it. The Knight mass is building. They're not just being thrown away anymore. And also, Sergei, because he's just sending in troops one by one, Chivalry's kicking in. They're healing up. But these Trebs just need to be fixed on the right target. Rams are not being used or built either. The Knights are going for the Trebuchet, though. That's a freebie. They can turn around on the Springald as well. Baitar. Baitar not like this. He's chasing for it now. Springel's going to get one shot off, but it will not be good enough. Treb is going to live. Free in. White Tower taking heavy damage now. Looks like it's not going to be able to be maintained. 7 villagers should not be good enough to repair this. Surely, this is the end of his central control. Reload coming through. Final volley before the Springald gets in range. Not enough to kill it right. But if he sends in the Rams, this should be good enough. He just needs to move them. Sergei. He went back to gold. This is it. One more shot. Daddy's home. One landmark down, 2 to go, and we know Sergei will not go until they are all gone. Knight mass is big enough. Men-at-arms added in. Armletry to follow from Baitar. His reserves, stonks, are on the rise again. He just needs to move forward. But of course he will not do that. And now they are sharing one of the few remaining gold veins on the map. Why? He realizes though, he's dealing, no, please realize. It's just there. It's just to the side. Just shuffle a little bit. He's like, but if I attack him, he'll attack me back. His villagers have bows. That's dangerous. Understandable. I respect it. I really don't, but I get it. And Baitar, wait, he lost the mining camp. He's been long-range mining. In fairness, this does look a bit like a mining camp, or at least the remains of one. And then finally, we'll see the remains of some peasants. English villages have been found. Trebs are moving aside. Instead of going for the base, which is open, Sergei gets an opportunity to snipe the Trebs. What is this? Rams are in. The Knights are not addressing this. Keeper's going down fast, though. He should change targets. There it is. Knights are rushing across now. The White Tower is only being rebuilt by 1 villager. But still, the Springald is killing everything! Auto attack's going to turn onto the Springald. Or the White Tower. It's the White... Please! Go! Divide! He realizes it now. He realizes that after he loses 4 Springalds. He'll at least get the villagers as well. Sergei will not be able to get the White Tower back up. Sergei also has no Siege Workshop. No more Springalds for Sergei. I thought I was dying, but it turns out now Sergei is down to 19 villagers, 6 longbows remaining. Those longbows are all garrisoned. They will not be fighting. Knights could dive this hardcore, but they are hesitant. Sergei craves human contact so much he is not willing to leave this game. He's made a friend for almost an hour, and he wants to keep that friendship alive. Baitar just needs to go. This white tower should not... There is no way it should go up for a third time. I'm speeding this. My baby's about to be dropped off. White tower's going up. Nice raid around the side. Down to 12 villagers. The Rams are in. It's done. There is no way back. Screw you, Sergey. An hour of my life is gone, but so is your ELO. And that is a win for me. GG. Baitar takes the game like the true champion he is. All right. That's that done. I don't think that was an overreact. Maybe that was a little bit aggressive, but appropriate. All right, I need to find someone to raid. My child needs a father. I'm going to get moaned at, I can already tell.